ago, I told you all that I would actually give this a good shot. I told you I'd give it a good shot. I kept my word. I am actually here to talk to you guys about the Braxtons. The Braxtons. This is season 2, episode 2. Um, the subject matter very heavy. Okay, so and I don't know how this is going to be because I really feel I'm oh gosh, it's like deja vu. This is literally like deja vu. It's like when I was doing the the Braxton family values and doing Tamar and Vince, where I started to feel like all I'm doing is fussing, and I don't really like that. I really don't like to just be fussing, like, because what is the whole point? You know what I mean? Then you start sounding bitter and carrying on. I'm not bitter. It's just what you are presenting, and so far, this ain't the best. I'm just being honest. This is not the best. It's not. Um, so we tune back in. Thank goodness we blew through the Ashley situation. Ashley is on the podcast with Tamar. I'm still not convinced about anything. She has had her say. Um, they had a successful podcast. It was they connect real good. She connect real good with the audience. The audience got what they got. She gave her story. Okay, cool, no problem. I'm still sitting there looking at Tamar and I'm side eyeing Tamar because I still feel as though Tamar is insert knife twist on the sisters. I feel like she's trying to get back at her family. That's just how it comes across. Like she's trying to get back at them. She's taking this opportunity to stick it to them. Um, Again, as much as we see them say, oh, we love each other, we love each other, do y'all really? Do y'all really? Are y'all just that dysfunctional? I mean, it could be, both things could be true. Hard to watch though. It's hard to watch a group of sisters. I just think the sisters, listen, my grandmother and her sister were like the perfect sisters there, and it's so funny because they're like Thelma and Louise. My grandmother and her sister did not fight. They did not argue. They didn't do any of those things. They were what you saw in a storybook as far as sisters. They talked to each other every morning. Every morning. First time I ever seen my grandmother actually drop a tear was when her sister died. That's when I saw my grandmother drop a tear, and I didn't see her drop very many after that. Okay, my grandmother and her sister were literally like this, and like I said, they were like Thelma and Louise. And you know what the funny part is? Their names were actually Thelma and Louise. My grandmother's name was Thelma, and her sister's name was Louise. And literally, they were around before the story, okay, of Thelma and Louise. But it's just so funny that that was their name, and that's literally how they rolled. So to actually see sisters that act this way, who seem to hate each other, you know. But the truth is, my grandmother and her sister, I think, are really the anomaly. It's not, there's more sisters that have screwed up relationships than ones that have relationships like my grandmother and her sister, even down to my mother and her sister. They ain't close like my grandma and her sister, and neither most of the nieces and stuff. So I think my grandma and her sister were actually the odd ladies out, but whatever. It was a joy to watch. It was a joy to watch. Me and my brother actually have the same, not, we have the same type of bond. We have the same type of bond. We're so different, but we don't fight and argue. Um, we don't fight and argue. I say what I'm going to say. My brother just kind of lets me live in that space, and he don't argue back and fight back with me. He's, that's our comfort space. We don't be going at each other and carrying on. I say what the hell I'm gonna say, and he'd be like, yeah, all right, Jim, whatever. And he go on, but he don't disrespect me. So I just don't understand all this get you gotcha when it comes to siblings. It's just ugly to me. It really is. It's really, really ugly. So we get through all of it. Tamar's telling her how proud she is of her. And I'm here and I love you. And I could be wrong, but I'm telling you, it felt like to me. That's all I can give you is what it felt like to me. It felt just like if I went on the show and she had a good podcast and a good turnout, she hugged me and tell me she loved me and thank you for the coins too, and walked the hell on off. That's how it came across. And yeah, I got them bitches. That's how it felt to me. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Okay, so that's that. Moving right along. Towanda, this was kind of long. Here we go with some reality TV stuff. Towanda got hit by a car at the airport. Now that was like, seeing her and her fiance and seeing how upset he was. That was actual reality TV. That was actual reality TV where you actually seen like the stress in that man's face and the fear in that man's face. I was like, oh my gosh. And I felt so bad for her. She really was, it scared her. It scared her. But I mean, can you imagine? Like you say it all the time to like kids, get out of the street. You don't want to get hit by a car. But have you ever really thought what that would really feel like, actually you versus an actual automobile? That's a whole lot. And you can see it really scared her. The fact that it really is right before all of the goings on before her wedding, I felt really bad for her in that moment. I was like, my gosh, So that was that. And then she has they were doing a soft cast, and then they ended up deciding to do a regular cast onto her arm and all of that. And I'm like, wow, I felt that was a lot. You say, I want to believe Tamar is sincere, but right, Kibi, and I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I literally dropped Braxton's family value. I dropped the show. I dropped Tamar and Vince because I didn't want to be that nasty bitch every week that was just tearing these people apart. I didn't want to be that. And my people ask me, oh, come on, do the show. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I like fun. I really do. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. Now, I don't mind cussing a Mississippi out. I really don't. I do not mind lighting somebody's soul on fire. Like I'm being real nice now. Y'all see the comments. I'm being nice because I'll rip your face off. Do you understand? I'll give you a reaction, but run the numbers up. We appreciate it, you stupid ass. Okay, okay. Listen, I'm a 1 star on SpillitBoy TV, and that's me. I'm gonna always be the 1 star. I am the star over here. Period. But I'm being nice. It's Sunday. Okay, Tony, is it me or is Tony a goddamn killjoy? Every time Tony Braxton called in this episode on the phone, it was like she killed the vibe. I said, oh, Tony, get off his phone and shut up, honey. Every time, well, I don't think that, oh no, you can't go out of it. Oh no, you can't go to Mexico. Oh no. Why? Her arm is in a sling. Honey, is that going to stop her from tipping a tequila shot? I said, Tony, correct. And then when Tony called back, when they were in Tulum for Tawanda's bridal, it's her bridal party. It's not her actual bridal shower yet. It's just a party that they actually threw. She brought all her ladies in waiting together so they could, just bond and have a good time and show some appreciation to them for, working with her on her special day. And so we got the whole thing with Tony not being able to make it. And then Tamar not being able to make it or not really wanting to make it. And we found out that Tamar was supposed to be, there you go, bachelorette party. So then that was a whole mess. That was a mess on Tawanda's part and Tamar's part, and the messy ass showrunner in the background that's playing the back and forth. See, they really need to cuss that punk out, is what they need to do. Now, that's the other thing. I don't like no punk running no confusion in between those sisters. You need your ass whooped, sir. You do. You do. And you the one, and Lord Tamar, you know you like to throw people under the bus. You're the one that told me that so and so and so. So I said, oh, fourth wall broken, and then you thrown under the bus. But sir, you're a messy punk, and you don't need to be doing that. Selena Johnson told y'all on reality TV a long time ago, there's a special place in hell for a bitch that runs confusion in between women. She means Jew. Okay, so it was a whole thing of really Tamar was invited to be her maid of honor, but she really didn't want her to come to Tulum, but she was invited to come to Tulum. But then you sitting around crying and fussing about how you felt a kind of way because your sisters wasn't there for you. Then when Tony called, we sitting there saying, okay, all right. You got Trina sitting over there looking fat and drunk. I ain't taking it back. You got Trina sitting over there looking fat and drunk. You know, I'm about sick of Trina. I'm really sick of Trina. Trina is getting on my nerves. She's getting on my nerves. She's sitting over there like a time bomb. She just looks so self-destructive over there, like I said, fat and drunk. Fat and drunk. And I'm not body shaming. She's doing this to herself. She need to get the hell on up off of all that liquor and whatnot she got going on and all that self-pity and whatnot that's going on with her. She really looks uncomfortable. She looks unhealthy. It is not good. And it's a lot of bullshit that you got going on that you could actually cut out, really. So she's over there. Tony, when she made the phone call, then I was ready to rip Tony because Tony, you basically were wanting her, this is what I gather, you really wanted her to reschedule it so that you could actually be there. You wasn't concerned about, oh, well, I don't think that she should be flying, and I don't think all that was some bullshit. Your schedule didn't permit, you really wanted her to kiss your ass because you are Tony Braxton. So everything that Tamar says about Tony is not incorrect. Tony actually is the star of the family, but Tony has a habit of literally making them know it. If there was no me, there'd be no you all. If it wasn't for me, honey, if I never sang any of them songs, wouldn't nobody know y'all's ass? Y'all still be down to the church house drinking Pepsi and eating chicken legs. We know that, Tony, but you don't have to, you ain't got to remind them every time you get a chance. And they don't have to bend over backwards and kiss your ass either. And the truth of the matter is, Tony Braxton don't make good reality TV. And I love her dearly. Okay? I love her dearly. I like Tony. But every time I watch her in some of this reality stuff, I need her to unbreak my heart because she is boring. She's a killjoy, and you just come across as a bit of a bitch on reality TV. She just does, and she's one of those people that let's just look at you in the clothes because you're girl, you're beautiful. Nobody can take that away. You're beautiful. You're beautifully talented. Girl, you look good. You put on, I've seen Tony Braxton live. She puts on a damn good show and all of that. But all of her inner workings are draining. She is draining. Her footage, everything, she's draining. Yes, every time they mention Tracy, yes, I get sad all over again because Tracy truly is the life of the party. She was. Tracy Braxton made fantastic reality TV. Tracy is a good ass time. Tracy is a good ass time. Tracy made the show. You know, Tracy ain't had a bad scene. Man, you'd be looking for Tracy like, yeah, Tracy will cuss Tamar out. And, you know, Tamar player, poor Tamar can do some good reality TV. She's the girl you love to hate. She's the girl you love to hate, but you need somebody else to play off of so you don't come across looking bitter. You know, but y'all remember when Tracy was going to beat the shit out of Tamar and told her, she said, you're not going to disrespect me, Mom. She said, okay, fine, bitch, come on outside. I'm going to disrespect you outside of your house, but I'm going to disrespect you. Period. I'm going to say what needs to be said, right? Rest in peace, rest easy, Tracy. Tracy was the star of the Braxton family reality series. Miss E, I ain't gonna talk about them people's mama, but Miss E can go. She can go. Now that photo shoot, and I'm getting ready to get out of here. I told you I ain't got a whole lot to say about this here. I got something else I got to do. I got a business meeting I got to be to. But and look, we ain't gonna run over. I'll be at my business meeting on time because that's what the show is giving. That's what the show is giving. You know, you can get me on here. I can talk about a show for over the hour that the show lasts when it's some good shit. You give me some old nasty Married to Medicine or some old nasty Real Housewives of Atlanta. I can't even do it with Potomac. But yeah, you know, we'll go there. You know what I mean? They ain't giving me nothing. They ain't giving me nothing. They ain't giving me nothing. Anyway, the photo shoot, that whole little thing with that photo shoot, Tamar, really, you tried to create drama enough to carry an episode over a beer versus a damn drink in a picture. But see, that's how you are. You're like having a tooth pulled. I don't know how anybody works with you because that's you. That's your reality. You just an old dramatic bitch that just be doing the most for the least. There was no need. And who I felt bad for was Darius. It was you walked Darius's back. You kicked Darius's back in. Darius, I hope it was worth it. I promise it probably wasn't. I could never do that job. Y'all know I sew and all that good shit and do hair and all. I would never make it as a stylist or anybody's personal assistant. I'm just not. I'm not equipped to be a supreme. I was always meant to be the Diana Ross. I'm not meant to be the backup artist because I ain't got time. I ain't got time. The way in which yes, he made a mistake. He made a mistake. But this don't come across to me as the first time he didn't share something with her. I think that you actually trust him to just do that. I don't think it was a big deal. I think you just used him for your scene and you walked his back and kicked his back in. And the one time was enough. So everything in the photo shoot was off and wrong because he didn't give you the information about what was actually going on. It just seems so extra and so put on and so Tamar to me. I said, whatever. I ain't going, but whatever, girl. Okay. Like some bullshit to me, but okay. Kick this back in front of all those people. In front of all those people on set. And I just looked in his little cute little face and I was like, oh, I know you want to slap the shit out of her. I know you do. I know you do. And then you turned around with your pelican brief mouth. And then you did it again. You did it again while you were having your nails done in another setting with more people, new people. And you walked his back again. All for camera. So I promise you he didn't make what you made for the embarrassment and the abuse that he withstood. I thought that was so horrible. And what he did wasn't really no big deal. It wasn't no big deal. And then you tried to really frame it because you know you're a queen of framework. You tried to frame it. Oh no, it's not you, it's us. Like we're a group. Y'all ain't no goddamn group. Y'all ain't no damn group. It's you and them, and they work for you. And you know damn well that's how you operate. Oh, I was so irritated with her. So irritated. So anyway, last thing is the whole thing with Trina. Trina disappeared off, and Vaughn. It sounds like Vaughn had a slight heart attack, and Trina's like, I'm leaving now. I'm like, okay, we get it. But again, you know, reality TV. We kind of boosted it up, and I'm not gonna say too much about it now, but the truth of the matter, if it was that big of like a issue, you ever talk to somebody that had a heart attack on the phone? When you got to get up and run from Tulum, you ever talk to that person on the phone? Maybe the doctor, maybe a nurse practitioner, maybe a family member. But she was talking to Vaughn on the phone, and Vaughn sound fine. But you know, whatever. Again, boost the drama. So listen, I just told y'all that I really didn't want to do this like this. But it is what it is. It's all I got. This is all they gave me. They gave me some shit to fuss about. So there you have it. Now I have to go to my business meeting now. I love y'all for real. I'm trying to hang in there with y'all because I know y'all like the show, and I know y'all like to hear me talk about the show. But I won't take offense if y'all say, okay, damn it, I'm tired of hearing you fussing about these people. You know, let's stay abreast of each other. I'm trying to work on this, and I don't want to come across in, you know, no nasty way. I built this platform for us to have a good time, not for us to be over here being no bunch of bitter baddies. Okay? So, it is what it is. All right, y'all. I love y'all for real. Y'all have a good night, and I'm going to see y'all later. I got to get on off. All right, y'all. See y'all later.